Welcome to the MS Gym podcast. I'm your host, Jody Feltham, and it's about to get real as we listen to the victories and struggles of our own MS Gym members. So let's dive in. There is never an opportune time to receive an MS diagnosis, but the impact can be even greater when it occurs in your teenage years. Join us today as we chat with May and learn about the challenges of being diagnosed in high school with very few treatment options available. But despite these hardships, May shares with us how she trades in her sadness for smiles. Hello, MS Gym family. So glad you could join us today for another MS Gym podcast with one of our MS Gym family members. So today I'm really excited to have May here with me. So May, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
And it's awesome. We have so many international members in the MS Gym community, but I am super excited because May is like myself a fellow Canadian, so it's always nice to see someone from Canada in a different province. So May, can you tell me kind of about how MS first showed up in your life?
I could tell you when I was first diagnosed, which was in 1998, and my symptoms were weak leg and feet. I don't know if I could say what happened, why I felt like that. I'm sure it's the same thing for all gymmers, that they felt something that's not supposed to be there.
Okay. And how did those symptoms, did you go to the doctor right away when you started feeling these things, or did that take time to go to the doctor to talk about it?
Well, I had to go to the doctor because I was still in school studying. I was like in high school. For me, it wasn't straightforward. I
Oh,
had to do an MRI
had you heard much about MS before your diagnosis then?
because I was young. I'm like thinking, um, I'm thinking about other things. I didn't ever think about. I didn't know
Mm,
what MS was still till the doctor told me. And then I'd be there like, okay. And then she gave papers at
mm,
that time. There was like no internet the way it is now, like you could find out what it is.
for
So
sure.
back then I had papers.
Like you said, in the late 90s, MS wasn't, as big of a in the media as much as it is now, and there wasn't that much information available. So like you said, you're just trying to make it through school. So
Yes. Yes.
that would be a whole another thing than we're used to in high school, worrying about, your hair, your clothes, boys you like, right? And then this diagnosis kind of put on you. Were you offered any disease modifying therapies at that time?
Yes, things happened that was offered to me. So I took it. I'm young. I wanted I still wanted to party with my friends. I wanted to go to school. So then, yeah, I'll take the medication. So then that's what I did. And then it helped me. I was walking after. Yes.
So you were diagnosed kind of at the end of high school. How did that diagnosis perhaps alter next steps for you? Did that change where you were gonna go to college or further schooling or relationships you might pursue?
For the high school, you can't really do much but study. So then I'm like thinking, okay, with that in my mind, it's just going to school and studying for what you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did, like after high school, I studied health sciences,
Mm.
and then from there on, I decided to become a nurse. So then that's what I worked as. I wasn't able to continue like after 10 years, like I used to, like to walk back and forth in the hall
Mm.
to get from one patient to another. My legs were weak, and I got a lot of the doctor's notes saying, May can't work, May can't work.
My heart goes out to you, May, because each of our stories are different, and you're certainly diagnosed a lot younger than I was. I used to be an ultrasound technologist, and The last kind of stint of my career, I was in the hospital. And when I started at the hospital, I hadn't told anyone because I only had foot drop occasionally, but as the months went on, it got worse and worse. And I didn't want anyone to know, even though it was so obvious what was going on. But, it's hard when you have a career that you love, obviously being a nurse and stuff. And it's a giving career, right? You give so much of yourself to care for other people. And then you work so hard to get the schooling and the training, and then it feels like it's kind of taken from you because you put your whole heart into your job. And then yeah, it's hard. Like I said, my heart really goes out to you because I
Thank you.
understand in a way what it is, because your story seems so similar to mine. Thank you for being vulnerable enough to share that. It's not an easy thing, especially you and I are young. You and I are almost the same age, and it's definitely different than, perhaps what we envisioned our life, in our 40s, being
Yes.
kind of forced retirement. That's what I often say about my job. I was forced to retire. Are you glad that you pursued your education and the nursing career? Like, are you, even though, it was obviously cut shorter than you wanted to, are you still looking back on the journey? Are you still very glad that you had that opportunity, or do you think you would have changed that a little bit?
No, I'm glad I had that opportunity, even though I couldn't stay there longer than 10 years.
Hmm.
I'm still happy I got the opportunity to do that, because when I go to the hospital, they know who May is.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Yeah, when I go there, like, and I pass by people in the hallway, if I work with them or whatever, they'll like say hi, how are you?
Mhm.
And then exactly, it's like it's a good feeling to be out there.
There's definitely, a level of pride in that. And like MS may stop you from doing that job now, but it can't take away what you did accomplish and all those lives that you impacted. Obviously being a nurse, your whole job is to care for other people and to give of yourself. And so the lives that you did impact for those 10 years, it's irreplaceable, right? Like, you impacted people. So it's such a giving career, like being in the medical field. How did you go about finding the MS gym?
So what happened was, a friend of mine on Facebook sent me a link. She also has MS. So then I'm like, okay, let's see what's this all about. I don't remember the date or anything like that, but there was like, the free exercises with the MS gym.
Yep, I definitely remember.
So I did 2 months of that until the membership was offered. I'm like, oh, I'll do it.
All right.
Because I saw the improvements. I'm like, whoa, the exercises, my legs feel great.
Hmm.
So then, yes, I'll do that. And I asked my husband, you want to get me that for my Christmas gift? So then that's how I got it.
That's
So
awesome.
then that's
I'm glad your friend sent you that link then. So the MS Gym started in May of 2017, and the paid membership started in December of
yeah.
2017. So you actually were almost from the beginning, you were a part of the MS Gym family. What would you say your biggest victory has been, whether physical or mentally, since you joined the MS Gym?
So physically, it's so much better. Like, I would have never known about how the exercise helps me or anybody with MS.
Mm-hmm.
That we need, like, just like what the coach says, to keep walking. Like, if you could only do it 3, you could do more. Like,
Absolutely.
we're 30, and then you could do more. I'm like thinking, I love that. That gives me hope. My body feels stronger with the MS gym, and being able to stand, like, not holding on to anything, just to show, yay, I'm dancing, like shaking my booty. When I do that, it makes me smile. It
Mm-hmm.
changes my mindset. You could keep going, and you could still be happy. Just keep moving forward.
May, what does your exercise routine look like? And what do you do on those days where you're feeling really weak?
I do the MS gym every day, or when you can exercise. And if you're feeling weak, for me, I say, okay, so today's not a good day, but tomorrow it's going to be better. So there's no negativity, like just because I can't do it today, like I won't be sad. I'll just rest today and start tomorrow. That keeps me going just to think like that. If I'm sad, my body will let me know and you can't walk.
Hmm.
So just don't be sad. Like I tell myself that so I could keep going, because there are days when my legs were weak and everything. I'm like, okay, it's okay. So today you're going to use your powered wheelchair at
Mm-hmm.
home. So then I'll just do that, and then it's so I love it that I could have some other aid to help me that day, because I noticed that after you rest, like a day or two, I'm back up. So then that's what I'm happy about. There's nothing for me to worry about, but just to keep moving forward.
And I really appreciate your mindset. I think that's a tremendous that's a tremendous mental victory. Like I think we all would like that. I know there's some days I wish I could take your mental
Yes,
mindset and not get sad, because it's so true. When mentally we're struggling, physically we struggle too. Our body
yes,
knows where our mind is, and it kind of joins along, unfortunately, with that sadness. It kind of tries to prove us right. If we feel sad and defeated, then our body kind of makes us do that for the day. But I'm so glad tomorrow is a new day. May, I have to mention that in the members only corner, it's a Facebook group that we have, for paid members. And every now and then we get to see May's beautiful smiling face as she's showing us her walking in. And over the years, I believe we've seen a few clips of her. I think she did the MS walk a few years ago, obviously before COVID and stuff. So every now and then we get to see these glimmers of sunshine from May and her excitement, whether it's dancing or walking or whatever it is. But you bring a lot of hope and inspiration to many of our members. It's you know what, your smile is so contagious that that when I see your post go up, I can't not smile. So May, thank you so much for talking with me today. Or is there any parting words that you would say? Obviously, keep smiling, and you'll make it through this, and not to invalidate people's struggles and their diagnosis, but I think it's so important, to adopt the mindset that you have about today. Today might be hard, but tomorrow's going to be better. Tomorrow I'm going to be stronger. I think that's so important for us to realize that and not get bogged down in the sadness.
yes. I wanted to say, just to add though, I'm happy that I'm a part of the MS gym, because in the MOC, everybody in there knows what we go through and what we relate to, versus people outside who we see every day. They don't know anything unless they deal with it. That's what I love about the MOC. Like nobody is fake.
Absolutely.
They know about how we feel. I love meeting everybody all around the world that are going through the same thing, how we could never feel alone. And I love chilling in the MOC. We are family.
Hmm. That is so true. And because everyone in the MOC, they either have MS or, a varying degree of transverse myelitis or different neurological conditions, is that we do understand each other. When you log in and you say you're struggling or you have a victory, uh people, we understand it, and the rest of the world might not understand what that looks like to live with a chronic health condition. And just some days are so hard, just getting out of bed, just moving, like just people who go around moving with no issue and walking, like they don't understand what it is we go through. So it means so much to talk with people and join with people in their struggles as well. So I totally agree with what you mean about a family. And because, you know, the MS Gym is such an international community, there's always someone there, no matter what time of day. If
Yes.
you're struggling, there's always someone to help lift you up or to join with you in that, in your difficulty. So I agree that the MOC is such a huge part of the MS Gym for sure. So May, thank you so much for joining with me today and for sharing your heart and your smile, even though I know that on a podcast they can't see it, but I always appreciate your smile. So thanks again, May.
Thank you.
Do you want to give a voice to your own story or learn more about the MS Gym? You can check us out at themsgym.com.